Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Scott Omaha in the morning. In the morning.
In the morning.
Hey. Check 1 2 1 2.
Check. Is this thing on?
Try again.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
All right. Welcome to a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Gawd.
Hey.
And it is Monday, September the 29th, 2025. Welcome. We're having technical difficulties this morning already. So let us know how we look, how we sound. And bear with us.
Yes. It's going to be an interesting episode.
It is going to be a very interesting episode indeed. I see people jumping in already. I appreciate that. Kimber Snipes gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Also, Mama Guy says, good morning, fam. Good morning. Appreciate you. RG says, morning, y'all. Marlon Harrison in the chat. Good morning, First Guy family, and happy Motivational Monday.
Hey.
Everyone, appreciate that. Michelle Moreno says, good morning, and I'm ready for this show this morning. I heard that.
Man. You and me both.
Pardon me. Also, yeah, man. I'm with it. Also, I see who's Mark Manor in the chat saying good morning. Good morning to you, brother. Appreciate you coming on in. RG says, you know the deal. I heard that. Kimber Snipe says, you think maybe I'll get some word this week on my application I submitted July for the Citizens Complaint Review Board? Good question. We'll see. I don't know how that popped up there. See, technical difficulties already. Anthony Rogers Rice says, that's how you start the week. Funky ass bass lines. Heard that, bro. Bass player to bass player. I hear you. It's going down. Also, Ariel's 402 says, top of the morning from Newcastle, Wyoming in the Black Hills. Okay. You really exploring Wyoming these days. That's what's up. All right. Leah Keister says, happy Marvelous Monday. Alan Faison, what's up, cousin? Says, good morning. First Sky, heard that. Ariel's 402 says, hit the like button. Sue Kessler Hagen gives us a good morning. Also, Marlon Harrison says, I've been up waiting for one of your rants today, buddy. Ooh, you about to get it. You about to get it. Buddy gonna be standing up on the desk again on this show.
Oh, man. It's going to be some furniture moving.
It's gonna be a Swedish riot.
Man.
Hey. Pops gives us a good Monday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. You hosted one of the big shows out there, man. Las Vegas was the spot last week,
man,
in a big way. Putting Omaha on the world stage. I was looking at people going around Vegas filming billboards with Buzz's face on it. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. Precious McKesson gives us a good morning, First Guy fam. Good morning to you.
They coming in.
Appreciate you coming on. Yeah. Lots to talk about today, as everyone well knows. This is kind of the place for us to be kind of doing having some discussions about some things that's happening. And a little twist today. Me and Buddy talked before the show. Definitely on the same page on some things that we need to get into, because this is ongoing, man. This is ongoing. Anthony Rogers Rice says they aren't rant, they're buddy blasts.
I like that. Okay.
Get ready for a buddy blast today for sure.
Man.
Yeah. Yep. Well, welcome. Like I said, bear with us today. We got some technical difficulties. I'm running on some. I'm seeing how good my phone hotspot is, as far as the internet is concerned today, because my internet is off, and we're gonna try to do the best we can here. Of course, we got special guests coming in. Brotha Qasim is gonna come on through today, so shout out to him for coming through and speaking with us. Of course, there's been a lot of people speaking this past couple of days over the incident that happened with Bud Crawford, who got pulled over. They all got pulled over and guns drawn. Of course, we all know about all this. We've been the internet, especially on the north side, has been lighting up all over the place about this incident. People have put out statements that we'll go through and kind of talk about some solutions in the end, man, about what we can do here, because that's really what it boils down to. So Hopefully, have a really great discussion today. Please do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, it's easy to do on your page, and also if you're on YouTube, share the link for anybody who would like to come in and have this discussion. The more people, the better. And we appreciate everybody who's come in this morning.
Yeah, man.
Laura Gleesking Thomas, a new name. Good morning,
Yeah.
first guy. Good morning. Kimber Snipes says, I had a great discussion with Robert Penn yesterday. Excuse me, Jahi Shabazz. That's right.
Hey,
Some
yeah,
respect on his name.
yeah. Don't call me Cassius.
Mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay. Stacey Jean in the house saying, good morning, first guy, Omaha family and friends. What's happening? What's happening? And also, Gmos Reese says, good morning, everyone. We got some new
Peace.
names in the chat.
Peace.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys coming in. Of course, this is a hot topic in Omaha, and there's lots to be said about it. So we're gonna get into it. First and foremost, there's a few community updates we want to remind you guys of. Of course, we've been working on this Lanes of Change series that's happening. For the latest episode of that is over on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, First Guy Omaha, the YouTube channel, and hit the Lanes of Change, and you'll be able to see a little bit about what our conversation with Mary Ewing was like. There's more coming there, so hit the bell, like and subscribe, do all those things so you can get more of those episodes coming in. Also, we've been getting some RSVPs and stuff like that coming in for the Fun Fest that we got going on. First Sky Omaha Fun Fest fundraiser and celebration is happening Saturday, October 18th. It'll be here before you know it. Check your inbox because we've been sending out some invites for this, and also on the newsletter and other places we put a link for registration if you wanted to come. So a lot of people have done that as well, and that's filling up fast. We only got a certain amount of seats on that, so definitely check your email for your invite, and we'd love to see you there for sure. Again, this is a fundraiser and celebration. Some people have already even donated. We set up some stuff on PayPal for you to donate if you can't make it, and people have already donated, which is great. Really appreciate that. It's a fundraiser, but for us, it's more of a celebration. We're going to give away some
Celebration.
awards. Man, keep on missing your cue on that. It's more of a
Yeah.
celebration.
Celebration.
There you go. And award ceremony as well. We're just trying to really honor the people that are in this news gang fight that we're in right now for information.
News gang.
News gang. So yeah, it's going down. So shout out to everybody who's already registered and and peeped out all of those things. Also in October, we're going to continue our partnership over here with the city, talking about the lead poisoning situation. They have a thing coming up in October, keeping children safe from lead poisoning. This is a kind of instructional thing that they're putting on Wednesday, October the 22nd, from 1 to 2. And if you want more information on this, go to 402-731-3045. We'll be talking about this as we go along. But they've started with the remediation. They're talking about a lot of the remediation that still needs to be done, which is if you have lead in your yard, then you need to get tested and get it remediated, get it taken out, and they replace your yard after they do that. But we're really trying to get the lead out of the ground first. But then there's other places like the paint chips, all kinds of places that you can get lead poisoning from, and a lot of kids get it, especially in our neighborhoods in a big way. So they'll be working on this. It's a month of taking care of kids, and October is kind of this month set aside for the health of children, and this is the reason why they're doing this during the month of October. So we'll be talking about this coming up as well. Shout out to our partners over there at the city there with that one. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into today's thread because I know that everybody's here for that. So let's get into it. What's going on? What's top of mind for you, buddy?
You just
Buddy
gonna
Blast coming through.
you just gonna do it. You gonna do it to me, huh? I'm feeling some kind of way today, y'all. I'm gonna just let you know. And it started Friday. I'll be honest. I haven't come down since Friday. If you caught Friday's episode, you know what I'm talking about. And I'll be honest, I kind of lied to y'all a little bit, and I'm gonna retract a little bit. You know, if we don't do anything here on this mic, at least we try to keep it real, try to keep it honest. And I lied a little bit. I said I don't understand what's going on. I said I can't figure it out, and it's not the truth. It's not the truth. I actually am quite clear on what's going on in this country, and am not doing a service to myself or you all, and acknowledging that and coming from that perspective. So I'll start there and say, in that mindset, Like even the lead thing that you just did, right? Like, man, shout out to the city of Omaha, of course, partnering with us. We're excited and happy to be a part of that whole situation. I've expressed in the past that I was a part of the lead coalition in elementary school, going from school to school, teaching students about the dangers of lead, and I acted in a play, did the whole thing. But the mindset I'm in today, it's not enough. What Kendrick say? It's not enough.
It's not enough.
I'm As you're reading that, and for those of you watching my reaction, I'm trying not to cut you off, but I feel the words of Malcolm X just like pouring out of me. It's not enough. You redlined us and continue to poison us. It's not enough to remediate our lands. It's not enough to put the knife in my back and then pull it out just a little bit. It's not enough. So that's where my mind is today. That's the mindset I'm in. And today's thread is going right along with that. Starting with Friday, of course, we didn't talk about it, but we lost a elder, we lost a sister, Asad Shakur.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We tripping. That's what I'm going to say. We're tripping. Acting like we haven't been told what we're dealing with. Like we haven't been warned of what's happening. We're tripping. So that's today's thread. What happened with Bud is just another example, just another page out of that book that we will address. Also, what happened with this grand jury situation, that's also jumping out of headlines as far as, again, several more cases getting wrapped up into one and swept under the rug. No justice, no peace, just processes. That happened. What else happened? Des Moines, apparently a superintendent from Des Moines got detained by ICE. Have you seen his picture? Not who you look like, or not who you think he looks like. Hearing about ICE. Gonna be talking about that. Man, something's going on. I don't know if y'all heard, but Trump is declaring that he's going to now mobilize troops on Portland for no reason.
Portland going to war over this one.
We all might be. So that's what we're talking about today. I mean, it's honestly less about the news stories for me today, and more about the realization that we've been tripping. We've been tripping, and to your point, I appreciate what you said before the show, as far as like the whole shock and awe that we kind of usually have, and even I felt I was in the mindset of our youth on Friday, and why I was going so crazy. It's like it's mind-boggling what's going on, but I'm no longer the youth trying to figure out what's going on. I went to college, went to a HBCU, did the research, did the knowledge, as they say. I'm not confused about what's going on. Neither should you be.
And that's it. This is a definite change for this show. We've been caught up in talking like everybody else, not so much, but in a way, we've been caught up a little bit with the expressions. Something crazy happens and we like, I can't believe how crazy this is. What's going on in this country? What's happening? What are we going to do? And Buddy said something earlier before the show that struck me, where he said, we doing a dishonor to our ancestors by asking that question. They've been telling us what's going on. They've been telling us since we can just go back to the 60s. They've been telling us what's been going on. We're not honoring Malcolm X by being like, this is crazy. What are we going to do? This is we've never seen nothing like this before. We're not honoring Black Panthers. We're not honoring Asad Shakur. We're not honoring anybody that taught us already what's up by us doing that. For me, it's for our white friends now who don't get it to be in shock and awe of everything that's happening here with this president, with this administration, with our time here. It's for people who this is the first time they're realizing what country they live in, because this has been our reality since the beginning.
Man.
That's why, there was something that went down a few weeks back where they were talking about why isn't black people rising up with everybody else? We've been in this. We're not surprised. Don't you remember that skit that Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and them did on Saturday Night Live that time when Trump got elected? And they were just like, the black folks was like, yeah, par for the course. And all the white folks was, oh my God, can't believe it. So there'll be no more can't believe it on this show.
Man,
It's we'll keep on working a little bit, doing like Buddy got the knowledge, Buddy's doing the knowledge. We'll do the knowledge. We'll go back and we'll be like, yes, this is what it is. But we got to jump right to the solutions. What are we doing? What kind of nation building are we supposed to be doing? They already laid the groundwork for us. Our ancestors laid the groundwork for us. I'm thinking of Liberia. I'm thinking of everything that happened with nation building in the past that crumbled and fell apart for a bunch of various reasons. We're back there, and this is what we got to do. We start with the information. That's our lane.
man.
We start with the communication. That's our lane. We're going to go for it. So that's the gist of it. And of course, we've seen at the beginning that we got Brotha Qasim coming on, who to me is a champion of nation building. BAA, Survival Club, everything that he's doing over there is exactly what we're talking about. It's the answer to what's going on in this country. What are we doing? What are we going to do with all this stuff? It's the answer to that. It's nation building. That's what we need to be doing. Point blank, period. And everybody who's not black, everybody who's an ally can help with that, but it's got to be our movement,
Man,
and we got to jump to the action.
that's it. Or what we doing? That was my question on Friday. Like, if it's not that, then I'm not interested in wasting my time, and I'm not interested in wasting y'all time. I'm not waking up every morning. What are we doing? What are we doing? Because I could be doing other stuff. I could be in the studio right now, not caring about none of this.
Right.
But I can't afford not to care.
That's right. And now that I'm looking at the chat, first of all, I want to say good morning to everybody that's coming in.
Man, and he coming in.
Kimmer Snipe says, y'all got a bunch of folks showing up today. We need this activity every day, so keep coming back, y'all, for real. David Mason is saying good morning to you. That's what's up. Linda Lathan saying good morning. Appreciate you coming in. Donnell Sessions saying good morning. And Rick Fulton, I've been holding on with you for a minute.
Hey, say what you gotta say.
I've been holding on with you for a minute. You've been on my nerves since you started coming on this show back in the day. I didn't even know if you was a real person. I met you in person, so I know you're a real person. But this is the last straw for me with you today. So, you're not welcome to comment on our show anymore. That's it. I don't like this comment. If Bud is the big role model for North Omaha, no wonder there's so much gun violence there. Who was watching Crawford's kids while he was joyriding with guns at 1:30 in the morning? That's op language, op behavior. This is for black folks, if we got to go there with it. So you can quit commenting on our page. You can quit coming on our page after today. That's that. I'm not putting up with this anymore. We're here to find some solutions, and that's that. And like I said, this is a big change for this show, and we're going to implement some things we've been working on implementing for the last couple of years, and this is one of them. That's that. So you get a Buddy Blast, you might get a Swedish Riot from me. Funk Furniture Moving. Whatever's going to happen today, we're going to talk about it and we're going to deal with it. And you're not going to come on our show talking mess.
And I guarantee you won't be missed.
Moving on, Marlon Harrison says this Bud Crawford situation has made international news. Yes, it has. I've been seeing posts on ESPN, World Star Hip Hop, The Shade Room, ABC News, Hollywood Unlocked, NBC News, and the New York Times, to name a few. David Mason is regulating in here for us. Appreciate you. Kimmer Snipe says, Marlon, God is providing a platform. What we gonna do? I appreciate that. Kimmer, for sure. We on the world stage. They was on the world stage when he walked in. Brotha Qasim and Bud Crawford was on the world stage. Every time they walk into the ring, they put Omaha on the map.
Literally,
on the world stage.
Literally has Omaha on his back. Literally.
Aaron N. Forte says, good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. Anthony Rogers, right. Asada Shakur should be celebrated more than mourned. Her life lessons will live forever. My first thought was they didn't get you.
Man,
She been on the most wanted list in America forever. They never got her. So she won. Rest in peace. Biko Kwanzaa in the chat says, good morning, First Sky Omaha family. Peace, peace, peace. Christy Nora gives us a good morning. Good morning to you, and congratulations. Well, I hope that your run is going good. I can't wait to catch up
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Heather Williams says that there's absolutely no confusion about it. You ain't
At
lying.
all. At
Biko
all.
Quanta says, I like to say those who do not remember their history shall repeat it again. We talk Malcolm. We don't walk back. Peace. Come on with it. Definitely lots going on here. Also, Linda in the chat regulating. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's what's up. We got people in the chat regulating. That's what's up. Appreciate that.
Man,
Aaron Forte
hey.
says Black Agenda Alliance has some good stuff coming up. Glad to hear that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
I was just gonna say regulators. Mount up.
Pops in the chat says funny, but I just listened to the Last Poets last night. If you don't know Last Poets, what's wrong with
What's
you?
wrong with you?
They started recording in 1970, and they sound like they're talking about what is happening today and trying to urge us to take a stand.
Man. I mean,
I'm thinking about our political leaders. I didn't even think about our love soldier leaders from back in the day telling us what's up.
we're
Straight
doing
up.
a disservice. We're doing a disservice.
Straight up. Sheldon Shar regulating. That's what's up. Anthony Rogers right. Wondering how people feel about the statements made by elected officials thus far. We're going to talk about it. I'm gathering up the materials now so we can look at the statements that have been made. But I kind of want to dive into a little bit, but I kind of want to hear it from Brotha Qasim first.
Yeah. Before
And
we do
BAA
that.
statements. There are some statements that the BAA put out. Let me see if I can even. Let's see there. There it is, right there. It's the one I need to grab. Pardon us. We're dealing with a little technical difficulties here. Bear with us. Kind of got half of what we need today, but we're gonna make it happen. All right, work this time. Black Agenda Alliance put out a statement for immediate release. I'm talking about put my
Get your readers
Malcolms on
on.
for this because my goodness, little teeny language. Statement from the Black Agenda Alliance: recent grand jury decision in Terrance Crawford traffic stop. He's speaking on both of these things. Black Agenda Alliance extends our hearts to the families of Stephen Phipps, Janidi Ibrahim, and Edward Henry during this difficult time as the grand jury convened to review their deaths at the hands of law enforcement failed to bring any charges. The outcome sadly came as no surprise. It is yet another painful reminder that Black lives are not safe and valued in the city of Omaha or Douglas County. Once again, Douglas County Attorney Don Klein refused to appoint a special prosecutor despite his clear and inherent bias due to close ties with law enforcement. This decision highlights the urgent need for legislative change, police accountability, and most importantly, change in the community in the county attorney's office in the next year in their 2026 election cycle. 6 to dismiss. Our community fundraiser, our community frustration was compounded last night by the Omaha Police Department's abuse of power during a traffic stop where world champion boxer Terrance Crawford, Black Agenda Alliance co-founder Kasim Shabazz, and others were unjustly detained with officers pointing guns at them after Crawford's birthday celebration. Enough is enough. The time for real police accountability is now. We demand immediate changes within the Omaha Police Department to ensure the safety, dignity, and rights of our community. In solidarity, Black Agenda Alliance. Thanks for bearing with me as I read through that statement completely, because to me that's one of the most important statements that's out,
Man.
at the moment.
Yeah.
For those of you just joining us, we are expecting Brotha Qasim to come on, who was in that car and can tell us firsthand about what happened there. Everybody's kind of seen a little piece of some footage that was there. Didn't really tell the whole story as far as I'm concerned. So hearing it firsthand is going to be interesting to hear what exactly happened. It's all over the news. It's all over the world, as people have been talking about already. So that is something that we'll have to be checking out and talk about it.
Man, what you thinking?
I'm trying to keep up with the chat. There's a lot
What's
going
going
on in the
on?
chat. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, what's sticking out with you in the chat since you've been kind of checking it out?
Honestly, I'm not looking or thinking about the chat. I'm thinking about Asada.
Mm,
We didn't really get to talk about it on Friday. I didn't see it till after the show. And I
hmm
know you saw it before the show, but again, not quite our style to jump the gun on things. We want to confirm, and it was later confirmed on Friday by a diplomat from Cuba, where she was, living when she passed, and her daughter on social media, both
Right.
again confirming that Sister Sada Shakur passed. And why I want to start there, why my mind is there, is just because this whole weekend has been a whirlwind for me.
Mm,
Starting with where I was on Friday just during the show, and then learning about Sister Sada Shakur's passing afterwards, and then just learning, going back, watching documentaries, learning more about her story, reminding myself about her story, because this isn't my first time hearing about it. But again, you forget, and I'm in the thick of it. I'm Those who know me know the type of lifestyle that I live, and the stuff that the diet I feed my mind, if you will. And even I forget about the sisters and the ancestors, and those who came before me. So imagine those who are just caught in the world, caught in the hustle bustle of life. And then I saw what happened with Bud. And then waking up this morning and hearing what happened with the Stephen Phipps situation, and it just, the feeling like it doesn't matter. And we already knew it didn't matter. But if this is not clear, then I really don't know. And kind of going back, for those who are unfamiliar with the story of Sister Sada Shakur, again, man, powerful, powerful sister. I'll This is from the article from PBS talking about her passing and her life. Again, Asada Shakur, a Black liberation activist who was given political asylum in Cuba after her 1979 escape from a U.S. prison, where she had been serving a life sentence, where she was convicted for killing a police officer. And she has died. Again, Shakur was born Joanne Deborah Chesimard. She died Thursday in the capital city of Havana due to health conditions and old age. Cuba's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement. Again, Shakur's case had long been a thorny issue in the relations between the U.S. and Cuba. American authorities, including President Donald Trump, during his first term, had demanded her return for the communist nation, or from the communist nation, for decades. Again, Shakur and two others were involved in a gunfight with New Jersey State Police troopers following a highway traffic stop on May 2nd, 1973. Trooper Warner Forrester was killed and another officer was wounded, while one of Shakur's companions was also killed. Shakur, who was at the time wanted on several felonies, including bank robbery, fled, but was eventually apprehended. It's also important to remember, or to state, that Sister Shakur was a member of the Black Liberation Army, um, and had been working as a leader in the Black Panther Party for some time as well. So her relationship with the police, that wasn't a random stop. She was very familiar with law enforcement, and law enforcement was very familiar with her, which is very important also for the Stephen Phipps and the Bud Crawford situation, if you think about it. For all reports, the officer involved in the Stephen Phipps situation was familiar with Stephen Phipps. Also, we know they know who Bud Crawford was. So when we talk about police community relations, again, they know who we are. These are police who know who they're dealing with. And yet here we are, acting with aggression. Let's see, Paul. Can you hear me?
Here though, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I'll keep going. Let you get it together.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And again, it just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's kind of where my mindset went when I saw Bud Crawford, and again, already in the mindset of Sister Shakur and learning more about her story and looking into her story. Um, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be a young man just trying to survive. You can be a sister trying to liberate her people, doing things like running food programs, or you can be the boxing champion of the world. It doesn't matter. Still a nigga. Doesn't matter. Also, when you have these interactions, not mattering if you're a doctor or boxing champion of the world, regardless of how you respond, you're still a victim. You can cooperate like Bud and still get a gun pulled on you. You can defend yourself like Sister Shakur and still get treated like a murderer. You can run like Brother Phipps and still get shot in the back. So all of this, miss me with that. Again, we gotta accept what it is that we're dealing with. State-sanctioned domestic terrorism. State-sanctioned domestic terrorism that we're paying for. We're bankrolling. Getting up every day. Breaking our backs. Just to pay for them to break our backs some more. Again, as Paul mentioned, we're past the point of just pointing to what it is. We got to start talking about some solutions. And not just talk about solutions, but walk that walk. Because they stepping on our necks, on our backs. Here we are. Paul, what say you?
Yeah, I appreciate exactly where this is going, and I'm sorry that I'm not able to really kind of look and see what's going on with the chat as much right now because there are technical difficulties, and I'm glad that you're bearing with us through it. But you're holding it down exactly what we our sentiment is and what we're talking about and how we're feeling right now in a big way. This is exactly what it is, and and really that's the bottom line. To me, I jump right to the solutions, and the reason why I have been doing that is because I've been feeling a little bit just like how many times are we going to be like, oh my goodness, look, what's the world coming to? Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. We jump right to the reason why we even do this show. Our lane is communication here. Our lane is information dissemination. Our lane is for us to get together and find some solidarity and find some like-mindedness in the areas that we're trying to find it. So this is what it's about to me. The only other, there's a couple other organizations that are doing that, some individuals that are a part of that. Shout out to Sherman Wells. Shout out to Brotha Qasim, who we'll have on the show here shortly. We're expecting him on the show here to talk about firsthand what just happened with the thing that happened with Bud and getting pulled over. But even more so than talking about that incident, I want to talk to Brotha Qasim about what he's doing with this coalition building, what he's doing with nation building, how it is that he's put together the Black Agenda Alliance, and he's working with that. He's working with the Survival Club. He's doing all these things in order to figure out how we can find some solidarity and fight the fight, and paying homage to our ancestors that already told us how things are. So I'm feeling exactly what you're feeling. I'm feeling like the other part of it is the other part that we've been doing is kind of over. It's not just about disseminating the information and talking about what's happening, talking about how we feel about what's happening. So it needs to get down to what are we doing about it, and those answers are very clear. And if they're not clear, then you haven't done your history. You haven't paid attention to anything Malcolm X has said or anything anybody else has said. We only have a certain finite amount of solutions here, and that's really it. So education and communication is all part of it. We call it strategic communication. We lump all those in: storytelling, education, news dissemination, discussion, and all of this it goes to coalition building. So we work on that. That's our lane. Strategic communication is our lane, and we're going to keep on working on that. But we got to change the tone of the conversation. We got to change the focus of the conversation. That's what this is about today.
Yeah, man. Yeah. If it's not moving forward, then it's moving backwards. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. And again, we will be doing a disservice to you all, our audience, by not pushing the conversation forward. And just wouldn't be responsible with this microphone, as far as having your attention, having a voice. Again, if we're not pushing the conversation forward. And I kind of went on this direction a while ago, and I'm not quite sure those who are paying attention if you were just humoring me, or if you were actually picking up what I was putting down. But if you remember, I was talking about space a couple weeks ago, and talking about Space Force, and really thinking about space is the place, which is this season's theme, and the idea of space is the place. Again, we for those who might be watching for the first time, the idea of space is the place is derived from the concept of Afrofuturism, which was born really out of the very time that we're talking about as far as the civil rights movement. You know what I mean? Like, and again, here we are almost in need of another Afrofuturistic movement. Again, it's a response to forces trying to almost guarantee that we don't have a future, and daring enough to envision a future where you do exist, and not just exist, but thrive and grow and flourish and reach your fullest potential. And I went down a whole pathway of like, okay, if that is like, if we're as a human race ever really going to get, and I don't know if y'all been seeing what's going on with this, this kind of side note, but what's going on with the alien stuff, and more sightings and more coming out about aliens and extraterrestrials. If we ever are going to go to the next level, again, the whole point is, where are we going as a human species? Where are we going? And we got to get it together. This racism and colonialism and all of this is of the past. And I don't know if y'all saw about what happened in the UN recently, but several delegates from multiple nations walked out when the Prime Minister of Israel started to speak, because the world is moving past colonialism. This white supremacy mindset is dead. It's over. And everything that we're seeing is an effort to keep it alive, to hold on.
They made it a point to say that is it Netanyahu's only ally right now is Trump. It's just pretty amazing how what you're saying is we're seeing so much of it, and we see a lot of it that a lot of people don't too, because mainstream media is really being taken over. Mainstream media is not showing people marching in the street and the movements that are happening worldwide, but alternative media, the kind of media we're into, does, and that's a huge deal too.
Man, I mean, just hearing you say that, it's funny, man. Look, I have been what many consider a conspiracy theorist for years. If you know me, I got a whole book of them. And hearing you say that, like, but these are things that I wouldn't just say out in public, because people look at you like you're crazy, and people wouldn't listen. People just don't know. And to hear you say it, like, even this conversation, like, it almost feel like we need to have a foil hat. But it's to the point where you can't deny it. Like, at one point it did feel like, oh yeah, they're controlling the media, like this media cabal. You know what I mean? It was like almost debatable, laughable. I mean, if you know, you know. But there is some deniability in it. You can't deny it now. There's no question they're about to buy TikTok. There's no question the mergers that are happening with ABC and NBC. There's no question what just happened with Jimmy Kimmel. There's no question that you can't deny it anymore. The media is being controlled. The narrative is being controlled.
Bro.
What you see and think is being controlled. You still there, Paul? Looks like my brother's having some technical difficulties. I'll let him get it together. But again, strategic communication is the lane. Actually, show
There
you
you go.
better
Can
that
you
I
hear
can.
me?
Yeah, I can
Check
hear
one,
you.
two.
I can hear you. Can't see you, but I
It's
can hear you.
7:40 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're anticipating our special guest, Brotha Qasim, that's going to come on just about 5 minutes. So I appreciate you guys holding tight. I'm sorry that I'm not able to get to the chat. As you can see, we're having some technical difficulties. I do see one comment in the chat that makes makes me encouraged. It looks like somebody from, let's see, Andrea Duncan is in Macon, Georgia. Oh man, sorry guys. I can't even see it anymore.
I see it.
Says I'm in Macon, Georgia. The difficulties.
That's me
Omaha
popping
is
in.
way more advanced than a lot of black communities. Keep pushing forward. So I appreciate those words of encouragement. First of all, second of all, I wish I wish we were able to talk to you because I want to hear from you how you see Omaha as way more advanced than other communities, other black communities. And I want to hear it from you. I can see it on my own, but I would love to hear from somebody from the outside looking in as well. Appreciate that. Definitely got some other comments there, buddy. You can see those comments a little bit better than me. If there's anything that pulls out, I definitely want to make sure that we're including the audience here in our conversation and just get a feel. Usually, I'm able to see the comments and I get a feel that we got some people that got some opposition to what it is that we're talking about, or people that are along the same lines and providing extra information. And so, yeah, if anything's standing out to you, please hook it up. Let me know.
Yeah, I mean the chat's going off, man. A big shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. First time listeners, last time listeners, are returning, content creators, chat timers, ghost listeners, monitoring spirits, all of y'all. We love y'all, appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining the conversation. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the chat. Sister Tanny Oliver, shout out to you, sis. Shout out, shout out. She is in the chat saying, I think we're all frustrated that OPD found no wrong in pointing a gun in Bud's face, knowing we have sons out here, brothers, cousins, dads, etc. That was a big statement. They have no shame knowing its status. We could only imagine what those who don't have his eyes on them, what they would do, which again, I appreciate that as my thoughts as well. What if this wasn't the world champion? Somebody who, again, the world was just celebrating, somebody who, again, just got a key to the city. What if this was just some regular person? Do they not make it home? You got to think. Also, our brother Anthony Rogers Wright says, buddy, tell that to all the CD2 Democrat Party candidates. None of them can even call it a genocide and are showing themselves to be nothing more than Zionist pigs. Listen. You've never heard us say the Democrats got all the answers. It's two wings of the same bird. Since we're calling it what it is today and pushing the conversation forward. I mean, really, it's not even pushing the conversation forward. We said this last season. The independent. We got to get out of this two-party system. We're getting played. The Democrats are out to lunch too. Trump told us that. He wasn't lying. Sometimes he's right. He's a fool, but sometimes he's right. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Please don't be fooled by the Democrats. And shout out to those like Sister Precious McKesson, like Brother Terrell McKinney, who are in the Democratic Party that do have sense. But you're on a sinking ship. Let's just call it what it is. Moving forward. Andy Harris, which is a new name. Top of the morning. Thank you for joining us. Qasim's post Qasim's post is on point. His views are legit. I'm glad my brother, my friend, one of my bosses is okay, and glad the champ is okay. The cowards need to be fired that have their own agenda. I don't know if it's their own agenda. Maybe it's the agenda of the force. Is it their own agenda, or are they following orders? I don't know. Let me know. Wanda Lewis says it could be a grand jury investigation involving multiple in custody deaths and all involved questionable suspects, perpetrators will still be exonerated and to be disrespected by the investigation to be completed all at the same time when they feel like it behind closed doors with no response allowed for anyone with concerns, which again is why when I saw that situation, I thought of Sister Asada Shakur. That's why she ran to Cuba, because she knew she would never get justice. Just push through the system. Just push through the system. So again, I appreciate everyone with the comments. Keep the comments coming. As you see, we have our special guest in the wings, Brother Qasim. Thanks for joining us. For those who don't know, again, Brother Qasim is founder of the BAA, head of Bud Crawford security team, and also founder of Sentinel Force Security, man, and many, many other father, husband, man, teacher, leader, and just all around good brother, man. Top of the morning, brother. Thank you for joining.
Peace. Appreciate you, brothers. Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't mind my man Paul B kind of having some technical difficulties today with his camera and things like that. But we
yeah.
still here, man. We still here. We locked in, and thank you for joining us. Let's just start, man. How you doing? Like it's been a hell of a week, man. Highs and lows. How you doing?
Man, alhamdulillah. I'm doing good.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing good, man. Just recovering. It's been a long 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks. It's been long, man. So I'm recovering. I'm doing good though. Alhamdulillah.
Man, yeah,
Up.
as I always like to say, learn your lessons and count your blessings, you know?
That's right.
Man. So before we get into the madness, man, just let's talk about the highlight a little bit. Celebrated, got the key to the city. How was the parade? Just how you feeling after making history?
Man, you know what? I'm still processing everything. Me and Bud, we've been around each other since we were kids, and to see where he come from, to know him the way that I know him, it's it's so humbling, man, and it's so I'm so influenced by his behaviors and the way that he never gave up on himself, even when the world appeared to have given up on him.
Mm,
You know, especially within the sport and stuff like that, man. So I'm still processing. I'm still really honestly, I'm processing it, but I'm just so happy for my brother, man. Words can't even explain.
man, that's beautiful.
Seen a
That's
lot. I seen a lot. I witnessed a whole lot behind the scenes and stuff like that, and it's beautiful.
What's up? Can y'all hear me, Brother Qasim?
Yep.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hey, man, I just want to really thank you for coming on this morning. I know you got a lot going on and you get hit from all sides, so I appreciate you taking the time with us. Just want to say, hey, I'm glad you're doing good.
I appreciate y'all, man. This is home base.
that part, and the world is watching. Again, history was made, and now that the world is watching, I think God know what he doing. God know what he
Sure.
doing. So let's go ahead and talk about it, because as the world is watching, the devil showed his face.
Yep.
Go ahead and speak on it, man. What was going on? What was of course everybody knows yesterday was a day of celebration, of love, of peace, of no nonsense. I'm not. That's really the only people I'm hearing tripping are the people we paying.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'll give you what I have. So, basically, man, we got done celebrating. And as I recall, we had got down into the special garage in the steel house, and you had people like Precious, who was down there, Raquel, and the party seemed to have streamed on out into the private garage that we were, that we had to park in, your celebrities and stuff like that, man. So the night was great. I was focused. I wasn't, I was zoned in on Bud. I wasn't, but I knew everything that was going on around me, and everybody, the vibes was good. Wasn't no fights and arguing, man. Everybody was unified. Black, white, Mexican, Asian. Everybody was unified. You
Come on.
know, and having a good time. So we left. We finally got out of the garage, and we turned to leave. and we were coming down, I think Capitol, and then you make that first left before the Steel House. And we coming down, and I'm just kind of checking the itinerary for the evening, and I look up, and then Bud said, he was like, man, they're going to police, so they hop behind us. They rolled behind us for about 8 seconds. I want to say between 6 and 10 seconds is what it felt like. And hit the lights, pulled us over. The cops, you got 2 cops. One cop come to my side, another cop come to Bud's side. And, we're in this sports car, And from my understanding, they only made like 300 of these in the whole world, man. That's how this is a bad boy right here, right?
Mm.
So they come up, and the cop that was on my side, he leans down, and it as he's asking me for my identification, he leaned down just a little bit more. Now, keep in mind, when you come to the windows aren't tinted. There's no tint. Okay. And I got on my bulletproof vest. You can tell I got on my emblems. You can tell what I, who I am, what I got going on, right? He leans down, and as he's asking me for my ID, he leans down some more. And he looks over at Bud, and he says, "Oh, F, it's Bud." And he stands back up. And keep in mind, this car is a little lower, and you can tell that by his energy, he kind of wanted to be like, man, just be careful, have a good time, just be careful, get your night going, you could tell that that's what his energy was. The cop on my side. So as he's asking me for my ID, him and the cop over on this side is asking Bud, I think, for his stuff too at the same time. Long day, man. There's been so many times I've left home and I might have my pistol on me, and I'm like, oh man, where's my wallet? Because this is before the permitless carry, but like, I need to go back home and get my wallet. We're all men. We leave our wallet and our money, and we lose our keys every day. Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Bud was just telling him, like, man, you know what? No, I left everything, at the house. Accident. Long day for the brother, long 2 weeks. He's still processing things. So the one part that I skipped over is that I let the cop know. I said, hey man, I got a firearm on me, because the way I was sitting in my vehicle, I'm backing up a little bit. The way I was sitting in the vehicle, I'm 6'4", 270 pounds. And we in a sports car. You can see my vest. You can see where my drop leg holster is at, but you can't see the gun, because the gun is like wedged up against the door. I'm like this, man. I feel like I'm in a little prison or something, right? So not even the cop from his side could see my firearm. So I announced that I had the firearm, and I announced it again as Bud is talking, and then Bud says, "Yep," and I have my firearm as well. Okay. When I told the cop that I had my firearm on my side, he said, hey, just keep your hands up like that, whatever, right? Soon as Bud told the cop that he had his firearm as well, man, he went ballistic. He went crazy. Get your hands up. Get out the car. Keep your hands up. Don't reach. So soon as he starts saying don't reach, and I'm watching Bud like this the whole time. Soon as this dude said don't reach, I said, oh man, he about to try to shoot this thing up. So in my mind, I'm like, shoot, do I stay calm, or do I get prepared to just go on out? You know what I mean? We're gonna go out, And this is how my mind was processing it, because of the nature of what I do, So he kept telling Bud, don't reach, don't reach. But meanwhile, the cop that was on my side, he's pulled his gun out. But the energy that he gave me was, man, this other cop is tripping. Can you guys still hear me pretty good?
Loud and clear.
So the energy that he was giving me on my side, it is because he wasn't. Dang it, his phone. Can y'all still hear me?
Yep. Now.
Okay, no, the phone is going off. Um, he wasn't as intense, and
Mm-hmm.
he kept looking over at the other cop like, man, are you serious? That's the kind of look he had on his face, right? So I think the snippet that you guys keep seeing online is a snippet where Bud is finally getting out of his car. And as he's getting out of his car, I said, okay, you know, this is tripping. Let me walk them through how to get me out of the car. Now I'm trying to tell you how to do your job. So y'all might have heard me say on there, I'm keeping my hand. You will hear a little piece where you hear me say, my gun is in a retention holster. I'm keeping my hands all the way. My hands was on the ceiling. Okay. My hands was on the ceiling. As Bud was getting out, my hands was on the ceiling. And I'm in the process of walking the cop on my side through how to get me out of the car. So I'm telling him, I said, listen, man, this is what I need you to do. I need you to open the door and grab my firearm out of my retention holster because I'm not moving my hands. Okay. I said, I need another cop. And as I'm saying, I need another cop to get in the car and get the seatbelt off of me. The other cop jumps in and he jumps in kind of aggressively, but then he see my energy and he kind of slow down a little bit, right? So he unbuckles me. I get out of the car. Let me not fail to mention that you had uh, um, young lady behind us, and you had Coach Malachi to make you guys familiar with the brother who the Errol Spence fans threatened online, and he's been a part of the camp. He flew up here to be a part of what was going on, and he was right behind me in the back seat. I get out the car. By the time I get out the car, Bud is in handcuffs. They took me out, put me in handcuffs. They took Coach Malachi out, who's not even from here, YouTube boxing personality, threw him in handcuffs, and threw the sister that was sitting directly behind Bud, threw her in handcuffs. Initially, what they said they had pulled him over for was speeding. Bud tell them, well, if I was speeding, what was the clock at? What would you clock me? And he said on camera, well, I don't have a radar. I couldn't clock you. Okay. So we're standing outside in handcuffs, right? And then you start seeing our people start to close in, and they get to tripping a little bit. The cop asked Bud again, man, I said, man, so I get frustrated. And I said to the cop, I said, man, quit asking him that shit, man. I said, you don't know who you talking to. You don't know who this. I said, you don't act like you don't know who this is, right? So it's like, well who? So I said, oh, so you don't act like you don't know who Terrance Crawford is, right? So he was like, oh no, but his buddies kind of looked at him. A couple of them looked at him and just shook their head, man, dropped their head and walked away. Was like, man, this dude is out of control, right? Then you seen other cops start to arrive, and they seem to be in disarray and confusion as to why this is transpiring the way that this is. Man, you could feel the energy. They wasn't with it. Remember, initially we got pulled over for speeding. That's what they claim. Okay. They get in a little huddle behind the cars and all of a sudden come back with the reckless driving. But they are on camera pulling us over for speeding. And then when Bud busted them out, it was like, man, you can't, because on that speeding ticket, you got to write what mile per hour this person was going.
Yeah.
You can't just say somebody was speeding. So now you didn't went from I was speeding to this is reckless driving. Okay. So, after that, man, they run me. Now, here's the thing. I'm telling them, I'm telling them while I'm in handcuffs, all my information is in the side door. My with my wallet, everything that you need. And even though Nebraska's a permitless carry, I keep mine no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
One, I like to travel, and many of the states identify the CHP. Okay, so I had to travel because of my job and everything else, right? And two, I've always said that it's safer for black people to own all of the permits. We have to be a step ahead of the game
Always,
for situations like this.
always.
Okay, because if I get pulled over during the traffic stop, the first thing I'm doing is I'm handing you everything. Everything is together so that I can give it all to you. Black people have to go the extra mile. Okay. I'm telling the police, I'm like, man, all my information is in this where I was sitting at, my wallet and everything. They never not once checked. They came and they ran my name. I could have told y'all I was anybody. They came and they ran my name. I heard one of the cops say, do you think, is that Shabazz? As soon as he said that, they did what they did. They took me out of handcuffs like right away. Start taking everybody out of handcuffs. You see what I'm saying? So they ran my name. They never not once looked at none of my identification pieces. But that's the identification pieces was supposedly escalated or whatever escalated it, man. At the end of the day, you don't pull guns on nobody over no traffic stop. We all got released and we all had legal firearms. So now if that's the case, right, then the protocol is when you are a police officer and you come to a vehicle and you know that and they proclaim that they have firearms. See, we would be in jail or our firearms would have got taken from us had we not told them that we have firearms and they had to find out themselves. They'll take your stuff for that. You have to let the police know when you're pulled over that you have firearms in that vehicle. I've been pulled over on two other occasions and not even close, man. The cops didn't even pull me out the car. You know what they said to me? Thank you, man. Thank you. Both cops. Thank you for letting us know that you have firearms in the car. We really appreciate you. Being honest and being transparent, you make our job 100% easier. Okay.
Talking to
The cop that pulled the gun on us, he didn't know we had guns in the car. He never seen a gun. He didn't even see my gun, and I had mine on my person. He never seen a gun. He never seen it. So hell, I would have hated had you came to my side of the door and seen what I had going on. You might have shot me. And man, that's we ended up leaving and going on about our night, man. But you know, shit, to me, something gonna have to give in this situation, man.
man.
So
Man, just really appreciate you telling your story, bro, and coming on here. And we wanted to hear from you, somebody who was there firsthand, and hear what happened. You know, it's all over the world right now. Even World Star picked it up. We saw it this morning, so everybody got the story, but only a couple people can tell it from the perspective of being there, and you one of them. So I really appreciate that you're doing that, and that you came on this morning to do that for us. For those of you who are just joining us, it's 8:03 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, this is First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. My other host is Buddy the God, and we're with Brother Qasim Shabazz right now, personal bodyguard to Bud Crawford. And on the heels of a day-long parade celebration, key to the city birthday party jam, they were pulled over by Omaha Police Department and guns drawn in their faces and told to get out of the car and handcuffed. Over what they're talking about is now a reckless driving, but basically a traffic stop. There's a lot of new people in the chat right now. We're not going to get to everybody in the chat. I appreciate our chat chimers regulating people in the chat. Thank you very much, especially since we can't see what's going on here all the way. But I appreciate that, and anybody who's a new listener here, just understand that we have a respectful chat. We give the person who is our guest the opportunity to speak and ask good questions and make good comments for this guest to show respect. We don't have any trolls or any weirdos in the chat saying stuff that is coming in here to be inflammatory. This is for us to get together and find some truth and have some solidarity, and this is what this is for. And if you don't like that, you can get off the chat. Again, shout out to RG, shout out to everybody who's in the chat chambers right now that are regulating in the chat. and giving our brother Qasim some respect here. I want to toss it over to you, buddy. I know you got questions, but before we get to that, brother Qasim, I just want to say you said something's going to happen here about this. How do we hold these police officers accountable? What needs to happen next in order for something to come of what just transpired the other day?
Well, so this is what I'm gonna say, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Was you saying something? Did you? Okay. So here's the thing. What I don't want to do is I don't want to lump and talking to I don't want to lump them all. And you have bad seeds out there. Just earlier that day, we're working alongside OPD, more tactical looking than they were. Okay. I got snipers. We got snipers on the roof that I'm communicating with back and forth. We throw on hand signals and peace signs to each other the whole nine. Okay. I've encountered them just like I told you guys earlier. I've been pulled over before with firearms and didn't even get a ticket for whatever they said I did, whatever it was. I have a completely clean driving record, CDL and everything, not a ticket on my record. Been pulled over a couple of times. And just from being honest and transparent with them and cooperative have gotten me to places where being belligerent wouldn't have got me. So as far as holding them accountable, man, we have to seed out the bad and we have to utilize the options of filing the complaints and stuff like that. We continue to do that, take legal action, which I will be doing because I fear for my safety. And in a situation where you're getting pulled over and stuff like that, there should be no display of firearms legally unless the officers feel threatened. X, Y, and Z. Man, we never raised our voice. We was calm. We wasn't belligerent. Man, we did everything. Y'all have to understand. I host classes on how to survive traffic stops, and I think the only reason I survived is because I did everything that I knew in repetition. A lot of people are dead right now because they panic. You telling me not to reach and my hands is way up here. And y'all even with Bud, as Bud started to get out the car, he kept saying, "Don't reach." And he like, "Man, I'm not even."
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as far as back to the question, holding them accountable, making sure that the public know, because we deserve to say who should and shouldn't be serving our community. If we fear for our safety every time you put your uniform on. So we go file our complaints. We take legal action every chance we get, man. And continue to encourage those that are decent officers to continue to do decency and do good by people. Man, we got totally mistreated and let go. That's what makes it so crazy. It's like no one went to jail. All firearms were legal. Man, you think we went through all those processes just to have just to get ourselves tricked off? We legal. Who gonna sit in 8 hours worth of CHP classes, driver licenses, permits? I'm a whole business owner with several different insurances that I pay every month. Okay, you think I'm gonna go through all that to trick myself off during the traffic stop? You fool! Come on now, man.
Man, but here's the thing, and I don't know if pushback is really the phrase, but add to what you're saying as far as, I will acknowledge that there are good cops. There are, people trying to make change, just like there's, people trying to make change in all areas. But the downside of it is too costly. The downside of it is your life. And I can't help but to think that how much of the fact that you're Qasim Shabazz and the local police know who you are. Bud Crawford is Bud Crawford. And that could very well have saved your life. I can't help but to think that this was just me or this was just anybody else that I know. How? Because I'm thinking of Marvin Ammons, who it was also his birthday. And he didn't make it to his party because he had a wallet. He didn't even have a gun on him. Look up Marvin Ammons if you don't know. This was my early introduction to the Omaha Police Department. He was on the way to my house. My parents were having a birthday party for him. This is what I'm thinking of. Also thinking of Sidney Gonzalez, who was herself an Omaha police officer. So if being a cop yourself, being a role model in the community, a world champion boxer doesn't stop you from getting mistreated, what will? And this is the best we can do? Like, this is the best police force in the nation? This is the best?
I definitely appreciate what you're saying. I think that leads us right to this next thing. And Brotha Qasim, I'm so happy that you qualified that, talking about your experience with the police department earlier during the day, working with them for this huge parade that just happened, where the whole city came out, and you wonder about the safety of that when that big of a crowd comes together, and you working with OPD and everybody, ensured everybody's safety. And I appreciate that, because we started off this show really feeling like that we need to quit throwing our hands up and saying, what is this world coming to? What are we going to do? Because we're dishonoring our ancestors and Malcolm X and everybody else who's already told us what it is and what we need to be doing, and how we need to build coalition, how we need to build solidarity, and how we need to do for self. We need to protect our own selves. You got classes that you teach on how to deal with traffic stops. You have the Black Agenda Alliance that has plans for what we do here in the Black community. Also, the Survival Club I'm thinking of, to what we're doing here with our strategic communication. These are all models of moving forward, because we know that it's bad. We know that there's going to be some bad seeds. We know this is going to happen to us. What do we do about it? And the what do we do about it has to do with what the Black Agenda Alliance is all about: doing for self, taking care of what we got to take care of, not having to depend on people in order for our own safety and solidarity. And to me, the BAA, the Survival Club, these are models of the solutions. I want to switch the conversation a little bit to that, because I wanted to hear from you about what happened, but I also want us to talk about what we as a black community need to get back to doing, that we've learned from our ancestors, that we've learned from people that came before us, on how it is we need to move, instead of dwelling on the outrage of being treated badly. We've been treated badly since we got here. So hearing from you, a person who to me is on the forefront of building up those coalitions, doing for self, taking care of what we got to take care of without waiting on somebody to help us and do it for us. Tell us what we can do as a people in the city as well. What are our solutions? You mentioned legislate. You mentioned that you're going to take them to court. You mentioned that we're going to file complaints. What can we do for our safety going forward? I know that you have the classes. We can send people to the classes to learn how to deal with traffic stops and so on. Give us some other solutions. Give us some other things that we can do to help ourselves here.
Prophet Muhammad said that even on the last day, plant a seed, right? So you can take that literal or metaphoric, and then so what I'll say is deal with the metaphoric and literal. That we continue to like, for example, we have a couple of training classes coming up that we had already planned prior to this stuff happening, pertaining to this. So we're educating our youth, we're educating adults, men, women, and children on safety measures, living clean, successful, peaceful lives, so that we can avoid the unnecessary attention and drama and all that type of stuff like that. And then, as you know, when it comes to us, the only one thing that we can continue to do or strive to do is continuous, repetitious training when it comes to the safety and the upliftment. I mean, that's because I'm not going to stop doing what I do. I'm still going to continue to teach children, men, women, adults. I'm still going to continue to do it. I'm not going to stop, right? So then we just keep adding to that. And I honestly believe that even with here's the thing, humbly, I say this humbly, I'm sure I've influenced a lot of people to take these different actions, right? And through my repetitious behavior of trying to do good, it has influenced others to do the same, and it has also influenced others to want to take part in learning at all. Or how many people have reached out to me to try to get to learn these different safety techniques and how to ride. I mean, it's one of those things, brothers, man, where we just keep on ticking, man. We keep on moving. We keep applying pressure. We make adjustments according to the time that we're living in, and we become chameleons in the matter. We become so good and so brilliant. I mean, for example, we walked away, even though the situation went the way that it did, we walked away kind of unscathed, other than mentally. That's the lump that we took, was the mental lump that we just got guns drawn on us during the traffic stop for doing what we were told to do legally, was to announce that you have firearms in the car. I've taken many firearms off people, maybe a total of about 9 this year within the last year. I ain't shot nobody. I pull pistols off people all the time, and but that's training. That's repetitious training. Learning and knowing how to talk to people. I'm in hostile, dangerous environments all the time. I'm responsible for protecting the baddest man on the planet right now. I have to stay intact. I have to stay calm. Okay? The police should be learning the same thing, how to stay calm. Why are you pulling guns on people? Now ask me how many times I've pulled my gun in the last 5 years in riots and multiple fights and I mean, come on. So to answer your question correctly, we keep on training, we keep on teaching. This I'm sure it's unfortunate. It could have been worse, but it's going to bring a lot of light to the matter. It's going to bring a lot of seriousness and a lot of light and a lot of sense of urgency for people to want to learn and do better by themselves, and even possibly encourage the police to do better.
Yeah, I was. Somebody asked me when I told somebody this yesterday. They said, "Well, did they not know who Bud was?" I said, "I think they did know who Bud was, which makes it even worse that for me that this went down because like we say in the beginning of this show, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what's going on. They see what they see and they're gonna act like they act. So with that, we have a mayor now, a new mayor in John Ewing, Mayor John Ewing, put some respect on his name, who used to be in law enforcement. He put his statement out about basically saying he was pretty heartbroken after hearing what happened here, and he's going to dig into it. I think that it's most likely this investigation, everything's going to end up where, just like it does, Don Klein and everybody else saying that they were justified in acting like this. Obviously, you feel like they were not justified in acting like this, and to the point where we're going to take them to court. So what? And with your communication and your relationship with Omaha Police Department, when it comes to the kind of work you do, the protection work that you do, what can we do to do that, exactly that, shore up our partnership with OPD while fighting some of these tactics and some of the things that they're doing to us, because but like Buddy's saying, the cost is too great. When it goes bad for us, people die, black folks
Hmm.
die. So I understand people. We got people in our chat right now that are abolitionists, don't want the police at all because the price is too high. We don't. I don't think we live in a reality where we won't have police. So what do we do about shoring up us regular folks, shoring up our relationship with OPD in order to not die in traffic stops and stuff like that? Basically, is what I'm trying to find out.
Well, there need to be, and some people may. Here it is, right? There need to be better representation on the police force. So we need to create a system which where we're training and developing little black kids to become police in their own areas. That doesn't abolish everything, but it abolishes the majority. And the reason it abolishes the majority is because only we understand us. Okay. For example, when I go do security at a black nightclub, some of the most dangerous in the city that are known most dangerous, my communication is different, and I know everybody. And People see me. You know how many times I done got calls and asked Qasim, you gonna be here doing security tonight? If you ain't gonna be there, we ain't going. It's gonna be some okay. Having how do you come to a community you didn't grow up in? You don't look like the people in the community and proclaim to want to protect it as a Caucasian. Now, let's just keep it real for a sec. That would be the equivalent of me going out to Elkhorn, Ralston, Bellevue, Papillion. That would be the equivalent of 90% black task force in those areas. I really want people to think about that for a moment. That would be the equivalent. They wouldn't accept it. They wouldn't allow a 90% black police force in those areas for the exact same thing that I just mentioned, pertaining to protecting us in our own areas. They wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't accept it. But that's an obligation of a people, whether we like the culture of the people or not. That's an obligation that have been infused in all cultures. Because I can't do it. I can't go in no other culture of a community and be a 90% black task force. We're the only people who allow that. So that's our own problem. Okay.
So you're for having black folks apply, be police officers, so we can police our own
Yes.
neighborhood.
Yes. They're not gonna just go away. That don't even make sense. Shit, I do protection. I'm not gonna just go away. I just said a lot of people is living today because of me. Go home at night because of me. Okay. And so I mean, what do you what do you do here? You know, you have to have protectors of the community. We just need to have better representation in our own community. So we need to set up, that's a challenge that I'm gonna put on black police officers in whom I've been in communication with. Maybe we can work together just to initiate classes and develop classes, because the very reason no black child want to be a police officer is because of shit like what we experienced, me and Bud experienced the other day. I've been experiencing that all my life. Now I'm legal. I'm as legal as you can get, and I'm still experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't not once labeled it as being racial profiling. I ain't heard me say that. But that's the numbness. That's the numbness. Like, okay, I already know what this is. Because if I was 9 times out of 10, if I was Caucasian and I had been all pulled over and proclaimed like a good peaceful citizen that I had firearms in the car, that wouldn't have took place. Okay, it wouldn't have took place. And those are just the statistics.
Appreciate you,
Philando,
man.
what's my brother name? Philando Castillo.
Yep, Philando Castillo.
Minneapolis. Yep.
Told him he had a gun,
Yep.
had permits, got shot and killed
In front of his
In
family.
front of with his daughter in the
in
back
front
seat.
of. Man, it's a doggy dog world.
And that's what my mind is. That's what my mind is, because again, it's more than just recent history. Like, we gotta acknowledge what it is, because even when we do everything right, even when we do put people in positions of political power, what have they done in the past? Assassinations, burnings, bombings. We get attacked. Do I need to remind people what happened to Redwood? Like, we've what I'm saying is, we can't just stop at saying everything you just said. We've already done it. We've already done it. The Black Panther Party was already roaming the streets. They already had a well-regulated militia, and it was systematically dismantled. We've already created communities where it was just us and we were just focusing on ourselves, and they were bombed. It's not just enough for us to say, yeah, we got to do it for ourselves. No. We can't just stop at doing for ourselves. We got to start burning some shit down. We got to start arming ourselves. It has to look like what it is, a war. We are prisoners of war. We have been since the beginning. And I'm not inciting a war. I'm realizing I'm already in it. And act accordingly.
Black Panther Party was called Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, and their first mission was to keep the police from beating on and killing folks in the street. And they armed themselves and they drove around patrolling, so that when police pulled people over, they jumped out and stood out there with their rifles, ready to defend whoever it was that was getting their head beat in by the police. But you mentioned them earlier and mentioned that they were systematically dismantled. But I wonder about today. The whole gist of our beginning of the show had to do with, like, we're not really honoring our ancestors if we're trying to act like we haven't already been told what to do. We haven't already been shown what's up. The Black Panther Party for self-defense did that back in the day and taught us that that's how it is that you battle the police. We're in a different time. There's different laws, and you're on the forefront of this, and you work with the OPD. With a tactic like what the Black Panther Party for self-defense did back then work today?
You ask that question one more time.
So the tactic of the Black Panther Party for self-defense, the way that they've used to come out and patrol so that they can make sure that traffic stops and people who were getting harassed by the police weren't. They were getting protected by the party, arming themselves and patrolling. Is that the kind of thing that would happen today with today's laws? And hearing from you, a person that works with OPD, is that kind of tactic that the Black Panther did back in the day, would that work today?
Yes, it would. It's necessary. Um, things are coming. I'll say that, right? But then the other part to that is getting people cultured enough to realize that we are at war. And Buddy just said it, So I think a lot of people are waking up to how the severity. We have a habit of stuff like this happening and then going back to sleep instead of soaking in remembrance, and the outcome being something of, I don't want that to ever happen to me again. It's like being broke your whole life. And you hit such a point in which where you like, I can't ever go back there again. So you become a dog. This is the same analogy where it's like, okay, y'all don't even know the type of fire this done lit in me. Already been going hard. Y'all don't even know what this done done for me. You know what I mean? I don't think they realize. Like, man, you know what? Y'all just acquitted all them shootings. And then look at what God did to you. He circled it back. Like, this what you keep doing, I'm going to deal with you eventually. I'm trying to give you a chance to get it right. This is how I'm because even with the quitting of the shooting and the whole Charlie, that situation there was, man, let me stop, fellas. All I'm gonna say is, Alhamdulillah. Okay. And this life is a test. This life is a test. And we stay off the drugs and we stay off the different things so that we can keep sober minds, sober hearts, sober focus, and that every day that's what we should be working toward is being better so that we can continue to make gradual steps. I want to give a huge shout out to Precious, my cousin Precious McKesson, a huge shout out to Sister Raquel. I want to give a shout out to the mayor because even though he's still doing what he's doing, and he's doing a whole lot more than what Stokehart would have done up to this point. And we've never experienced the mayor in this city ever that would ever even say anything on our behalf. Let that man cook. Let him figure out if he's the first black mayor. And I don't know how Nebraska is, but it took X amount of years for us to get to a point where we're in this bad of shape. Gotta let that man cook. Let him and his staff cook. Let them try to figure out 100. Let's say Nebraska being here for 100 years. Y'all had 99 years to corrupt it on our behalf. It's gonna take some time. Let's keep getting shout out to Ashley Spivey, man. Okay, shout out to Sister Cherie. Okay, shout out to the different multiple police that have contacted me. Like, man, Okay, so I just want to give shout out to Tamika, shout out to Roscoe, shout out to Sherman, shout out to my camp, the BAA, Sister Aaron. my queen for holding me down because, to be honest, man, I've been able to triple my workload because of her. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So just that's why I say alhamdulillah. We gotta take the good with the bad, man, and clap back when it's time to clap back. Right now, we clapping back.
That's it.
I ain't to tell you. Am I disturbed? I'm disturbed. I should be. I don't know if angry would be the right word. Let's just say that I'm focused. I'm
Man.
focused.
Time for some
I
action.
tell Bud, shit, I tell my brother, I give every key back they done gave to you until we get it right.
Mm.
Huh?
Mm.
We got to get
Yeah.
it right, man. We got to get it right. But don't do that though, because that came from a different place and a different source. That's me being crazy, man. So we gonna keep on doing what we doing, man. And we haven't lost every battle, and so we need to stop beating ourselves up
Oh yeah.
as bad as we do. We've won. We've taken a lot of wins. We've taken some losses, but we've had a lot of wins and a lot of gains. So we've had a lot of success. Um, and with that is going to come. Y'all know, man, we ain't ever been able to just be successful. We were successful. They flew bombs over in Tulsa and blew us up. We were successful. The black family was so strong they had to inject syphilis and stuff like that into the stream. They created all types of systemics to off throw us, man. We the original people, man. Stand up.
Man.
We the original. Everything on this planet come from us. Identifying that, the things that I teach these kids is how they'll be able to sustain themselves in this world, not being told that they're the minority when we're the original people, nobody would exist without us. Standing on it. Prove me wrong scientifically.
No matter where you go, the further back
No
you
matter
go,
where you go.
the darker they get. I'm seeing on
All right.
social media those in was it Scotland? They feeling some kind of way because they finding out they ancestors. We just hearing about what's going on in Ireland. Do you
And they
need to
should.
look up the Aborigines in Australia?
Yeah. And that's the thing. And not to beat nobody down, but we live in a world where we're taught to be inferior because of how we look. And it's really reversed. But in our humility and our humbleness and our nature of God, we don't create hate groups. We don't create Ku Klux Klans and stuff like that. It's not in our nature to be oppressive, especially once we find out who we are. We don't even in what we go through, we constantly striving to get peace. We're peaceful people, man. So we go through what we go through. A lot of that is symptoms of oppression, and stuff like that. But let's say that I'm in a good headspace, man. Ain't nothing to be worried about.
I can tell, and that's what I'm happy that you said that. You kind of left us with that love supreme,
That's what's
and,
about.
and that's where I want to leave it. I want to let you get off on that positive vibe right there, and also that I'm glad you said at the end too, because I definitely did this. I called you because I wanted to check in on you. I wanted to make sure you was in a good headspace and and you was thinking clearly about everything that's going on, and to get your advice. To be honest, I'm a little older than you, but I look to you for advice on a bunch of stuff, especially when it comes to these things right here. So I really appreciate your words, man. I appreciate you taking the time today, and let's keep in touch and hang in there and keep talking about this and keep doing what we got to do. Like you said, keep pushing. We're the original survivors. We've been surviving all these things for all these years, and that way we are our ancestors that pushed through and survived, and we're gonna keep on doing that. So really, really appreciate all your work, bro, and just where you coming from, your headspace. You one of the brothers. I've been a lot of places in the world. You one of the brothers I admire. One of the brothers I admire the most. So again, I really appreciate you, and shout out to Bud, man. I almost put a post up the other day saying thank you, OPD, for reminding us where we at.
Man.
Because you be champ of the world and get a whole city, give you a parade and get a couple keys to the city and everything, and still get treated like common criminal.
Man.
We got to pay attention. We got to pay attention to that lesson. Whatever we do today, leave here with the lesson. Leave here happy. Leave here with your head held high, and say, you know what? What Kendrick say? We're gonna be all right.
We gonna be
He
all
said,
right.
He said my knees might what he say it, buddy. You know how the music. He said my gun might blow and my knees might give
might
out or
break.
something.
He said my knees
Now
might
people
break.
don't.
You gonna be all right.
My knees might break. What he's referring to is, man, I'm tired of praying, and he's like, man, my gun might blow from time to time, but we gonna be all right, man. We've been this, man. I'm gonna listen to some Kendrick. That's what
There
I'm
you
gonna do
go.
today.
Hey, you
There
know
you
what else?
go.
You know
That's
what
what
else
I'm gonna.
Kendrick? You know
Huh?
what else
And I
Kendrick said?
got me some Somali rice over here, man. I'm gonna eat me some.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna eat me some rice and
Yeah,
listen to some Kendrick,
yeah,
man.
we gotta let you go get to that plate. One more thing that Kendrick said too that we've been saying all the time. It's not enough.
It's not
It's not
enough.
enough.
What's been going
That's
on right
right.
now is not enough, bro. So,
That's right.
uh, and, and Buddy says it all the time. We all we got is each other, and that is enough. We gonna
There you go.
continue with that in a big way. We're gonna let you eat, bro. I know you hungry,
All right,
so we
man. I'm hungry.
peace, bro.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Yes,
you.
Peace
sir.
and love. Peace and
Later.
love.
Peace,
Peace.
peace, peace. All right.
Man.
Those of you that just joining us for the first time, we appreciate everybody that is here. We appreciate everybody that is tuning in and seeing what's going on. I know that this was a subject that a lot of people, they're on the world stage. There's a lot of people coming in because of what's going on with Bud, what's going on with that incident. And so yeah, see, I keep on trying to reiterate what it is that we're about here on this show, just in case that's something that resonates with you. This is not a show where we bring on a bunch of controversial people to have a bunch of arguments. We're looking for some solidarity, and we're looking for us to be able to have some honest discussion about where we're at. And when I say we, I'm talking about the Black community. We have a lot of our audience is not in the Black community, but part of the Black community by proxy, by association, by allyship, and that's cool too. But it has to be our movement that we lead, and we have to be the leaders of this movement, and that's the movement I feel like everybody else really ought to be thinking about being a part of as well. So, I'm thinking a lot about the audience that's here today. I'm sorry that I
Mhm.
wasn't able to get to the chat like I normally do, because normally we're reading through the chat, we're calling out parts of the chat. We have a regular group of people called chat chimers that come on regularly that we know and trust, and they have been some of the ones that have pushed back on some of your comments. They have been the ones that's been regulating you during the show. I saw a few people doing that, and that's how that works here. So for those new people, you're welcome to come back, but it needs to be under the guise of respect. This is not a normal chat where you can just say and do anything you want to say and troll and all the rest of that. It's one thing to have a difference of opinion, but prepare to have a conversation about your difference of opinion, and that's just what it is. With everything else that's going on there, that's just what it is. So, again, we really appreciate everybody who did come through. Buddy, if you saw anything in the chat, like I said, I'm not seeing it on this side because of my technical difficulties. But if you see
Mhm.
anything standing out, please bring it out. Again, I just want to thank all the new people that came in, and especially the chat chimers that hung around to regulate. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, well, there's a few things I do want to address. One, I echo what you just said. It's apparent now that there's a few people who watching the show who may not have watched the show before, might be free or first time watching the show, or if you are familiar with the show and just don't watch often. First of all, welcome, thank you for tuning in. And as Paul said, we are here to have a conversation, but hopefully have a productive conversation. So again, I see some people responding, and there's some troll activity in the chat a little bit. A few people have addressed that accordingly. But let's don't even really feed into it. You know what I'm saying? We know what it is, and you see what it is, and you see where the conversation is going. So if you would like to input to the conversation to progress the conversation, cool. If not, then you're not here. You're not here. Beyond that, in the chat, I did see some people asking me about my comment about burning it down, which I wanted to address. Some people ask, what am I talking about burning down? And I'm aware of the power of this microphone. Don't go outside burning buildings down. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a figurative burning down. Somebody in the chat kind of caught what I was saying. Again, burn down the system, these systems that have been built. Society as we know it is made up of systems that have been built with an intention and an end in mind. The way things are working are because they're working the way that they're built to work. The system is working. Nothing is broken about the American system. It's working to benefit who it's built to benefit, who it was built by. Let's just call it what it is. It's no secret that the Rockefellers of the world are the same people who set up the public education system, are the same people who own the smelting plants and own all of the resources that built this country. If you
Along
don't,
with slaves being one of them resources.
come on, man, come on. So as far as me talking about burning it down, I'm talking about burning down the illusions that we all prop up to keep up in society. Burning down, thank you, Amir, the establishment that has been built that does not benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit anybody except for the people running it. That's what I'm talking about, burning down. Burning down your own inhibitions, your own fears, your own whatever's holding you back from advancing. Burn it down. Get rid of it. Release that energy. It's not going to serve you where you're going. And whether you want to accept it or not, look, 2 + 2 is going to equal 4 all day, every day. It cares not how you feel about it. Your feeling of truth does not change. And the truth is, things are advancing. You can either get with the times or get left behind. Colonialism is not serving anybody.
Not even the colonialist.
Exactly. Which is why they have to keep doing everything that they're doing. Come on, man. You got to keep the system going to keep the system up. It's not a sustainable system. And how many times are we going to drive ourselves into madness to sustain a system that's not sustainable? When are we going to get to free energy? Tesla technology exists. Like, man, let me go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
No, you're right, man. You're on one. What I'm really taking away today, especially today with this show, what we were talking about beforehand, what you've been on since Friday. You said you kind of been going down a rabbit hole since Friday here on some things because of just the times that's happening, everything, all the progression, all the things that's going on. I really am. I have this vision in my head of what we've been doing is what most of kind of liberal society has been doing. I remember talking to some friends during the Freedom Summer 2020, white folks that were coming out, and I straight up was asking, like, why are you out here marching with us right now? Like, what's going on? The pandemic, we're off work, and we can't ignore it. We've been mad this whole time. We just couldn't get off of work and really, be down for the cause. But now that we got this time, we're gonna come out here and protest. And so, okay, so your capitalist endeavors come before revolution. I understand. I get it. But the idea to me was that that what we got to really understand is that we get caught up in media, in mainstream. The zeitgeist of this country is when white folks chime up and they're saying, "Oh, this is crazy. Oh, this rapist that we have in the White House is blah blah." When they're going nuts about it, it's like it's what Michelle Trosclair told us about, that she went through years ago, where she had rose-colored glasses on this growing up, and then they came off, and she realized everybody around her kind of hates her, and in this country, and that realization is something that Black folks have every generation, which is a trip too. Every generation, there comes a time, you might be 9, 10, 11. I remember I was probably about 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, where I was like, oh, okay, they're against us. I'm seeing that I'm getting treated differently than anybody else, and I thought it was different. I thought everything was cartoons and Saturday morning cartoons and my little white friends down the street, and I thought all that was cool. But now I'm understanding something different, and everybody has to come to this realization. So what I feel like society as a whole in our country especially is doing right now is coming to these realizations. Oh, this is crazy. This is almost how it was with the Nazis, that like people are going nuts. And so they're going through a period of time where they're speaking that out. It's an outburst. It's a declaration. Oh my God, I can't believe this has happened. You got to express that surprise. And sometimes us in the Black community get caught up in that same kind of surprise. I know this is crazy. What are we going to do? Oh my God, I can't believe it's like this. This is insane. And we get caught up in the expression of how insane everything is. And I've been feeling that that's real disingenuous for a while now. Like I've been feeling for a while, like I don't want to come on this show every day and be like, this is wild. Look what happened this time. How crazy is this? Like we know how crazy it is. We're past how crazy it is. We're past that this is happening now. We know that this has been happening, and we're even past figuring out what to do about it. Our ancestors have been telling us what to do about it for years and years and years. One person I'm thinking about right now, who's a chat chimer, Anthony Rogers Wright, rubs a lot of people the wrong way all the time. Rubs me the wrong way all the time. We be beefing all the time about stuff. But I will say this: the brother all never forgets what the ancestors said about what it is that we need to be doing,
Man.
and how we need. And let's not get caught up in this party or that party is better than this party and that party and all the rest of that mess. Like they've been telling. Listen, it's history. They've been telling us what's up, and that's where we're at now. And so when we come across stories like this, that this thing that happened with Brotha Qasim and Bud and getting pulled over and guns in their face. How many thousands of times is that going to happen today in this country? Today, it will probably be 1,000 Black folks getting pulled over with guns in their face in this country today. So it can't be about the thing. It can't be about the story. It's the burning down of the system that allows for these things to happen. And it's not just us doing just for self, but it's also us burning down this system. And it takes all of us to do that. All the allies, all the communities, everybody. Because we all live in part of this system all the time. It's easy to throw up your hands. This is so wild, and then go to work and keep feeding into the system. Like, well, what are we gonna do? I don't know what to do. I guess I'll sit down here and watch Netflix and watch some more propaganda on TV and call the cops when the neighbors are too loud. Like,
give Disney some more money.
Appreciate it. Like I said, I would be in the chat a lot more if I could see it. A lot of people here, and do us a favor. Like, subscribe. You're in YouTube. There's a way that you can look at the chats later on. I believe it has to come up as you're watching the video. I'm still not really sure about how YouTube is working with the comments, but you can go to Facebook. A lot of comments on Facebook as well. You can go back and see those for a period of time for about 30 days. I highly suggest you go back and check this show out if you've missed any parts of it on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you, like I said, first time here, like and subscribe to the page. This is the kind of stuff that we're going to get into and go into on a regular basis. We're going to talk about things that are happening. We're very hyper local. Omaha, especially North and South Omaha, we call East Omaha, but that's how we started. That was our tagline. It has since quickly moved to the world and society and our country as a whole, and everything that's happening in similar cities with Black mayors and so on and so forth, because none of this stuff is happening in a vacuum, even here hyper locally. It's all happening everywhere, and it's affecting us all the time. So we appreciate everybody who's jumped in there. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat that are regular chat chimers that are feeling emboldened right now to kind of speak up on some of it. You can feel the change. You can feel the change. It's not like, oh my God, this is crazy anymore. It's, what are we going to do about it? What's happening? What's the move now? What struck me about Brotha Qasim's interview too was him saying he did, him relying on the fact that he's done all the legal things you're supposed to do according to the law, which is interesting when you're building a system that rejects the premise of a lot of the laws that are out here, for you to still be diligent with that law that you have to be under in this land, and say, okay, well, no, listen, you shouldn't have nothing to say because I'm following the letter of the law that you put out. I don't even hardly agree with. I'm still following the letter of the law that you put out, and so you really should have nothing to say about it. And what happens is when they do still abuse that gives you more fire to burn down the system. And that's what, and this is why I want to thank OPD for pulling Bud over after the festivities to remind us where we're at, and to not let me get complacent. Oh man, the whole city loved Bud. We all out here loving. We all out here celebrating him. Every person in Omaha pretty much is out here at this parade, and he's getting the key to the city, and he's putting Omaha on the map, and the world is looking at Omaha and thinking how great. And some rookie dude pulls a gun out, scared, or whatever his reasoning is. Somebody said in the chat, I missed somebody said in the chat, like, you got to run your place before you pull anybody over. They knew who Bud was when they pulled him over.
Come
And
on,
he
man.
still wound up with a gun in his face.
Come on.
Thank you for reminding us where we're at. Thank you for reminding us that it doesn't matter who you are, what you doing. We're in the war.
There you go. There you go. And I am also recognizing that as far as the numbers for today, of course, this was an inflated show. But for those of you who are watching that, might not be familiar, please come back. As I mentioned, before, those of you who know, this show came out of Freedom Summer, came out of 2020, and the level of activism and just the people coming to this realization back then, as far as we got to do something. Something has to be done. It's time to mobilize. And here we are now. And I will say, don't be a victim to the moment. Don't let it just be a moment. Feel it. Sit in it. Let it change you. Let it become a movement, not just a moment. Let it move you to create change, because that's the only way that this is going to happen. That's the only way things are going to get better. Man, we've got about 10 minutes left in the show.
I actually want to end the show. I don't want to drag it out.
Yeah.
We didn't really take breaks and do commercials this time around. So we wanted to really kind of dive in here. I just want to leave everybody with that message, that if you are something's resonating with you. I'm glad that we talked about this before the show, buddy, because I want this show to be about that point. The point that it's changed. The tone of this show has to change. It's no more, oh my God, look at this. No more expressions. We got to get to, we know what's up. We're not going to debate what's happening. We know what's going on, and what are we going to do about it? It's got to be solutions based, action based, and that's what it is from now on. So I don't ever want to push down the expressions of anybody from any other culture that is just now understanding what's going on and needs to go ahead and vent that out and go through your process of realization and make your exclamations and make your comments and so on and so forth. Everybody got to go through that process when they go through it. But for us and the majority of the ones that we're speaking to right now, we're past understanding that we're in a time that is ridiculous. So you guys think that you're in a time right now where it's feeling like it's Nazi Germany. Well, the Jews felt that way when they went through it. Black folks felt that way when it was brought here. This is not really. There's not a lot that's really totally different that's going on here as far as we're concerned. And our ancestors have already been through it. They've already left the country. Asad Shakur left for asylum because she was speaking out about this. We're speaking to her because she just passed away, but we are from the land of Malcolm X, where he was born, and has been saying these things. Our leaders have spoken these things and got killed for them. Speaking of martyrs, speaking of getting shot in front of your family. We've had our leaders have that happened to us. Y'all late. That happened to us 30, 40 years, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. So we're out here it's about spreading the vibe right now, bro. It's about us understanding these things, understanding where we're at. You might still have a different lane or a different way to deal with this stuff, but let's not try to act like we don't know where we're at no more. That's what needs to change. We know what's up. You know what's up. You know what this is. You know it's racism. You know it's fascism. You know all the things. We don't need to debate those things anymore. You know where we're at. Now decide what you want to do. That's all. Decide what you want to do. I personally am a love supreme warrior. I'm going to put my efforts into strategic communication, storytelling, getting the word to people, trying to speak to folks and build coalition. Use my art to do so. That's my soldiering. Brother Qasim is going to strap up, put his bulletproof vest on, and go protect people physically in person. That's his lane. We got a lot of lanes, but the one thing that we can say is, even if we are approaching it differently, we both know what is going on, and we need to not ever act like we don't. I hate having conversations with people who act like we didn't just say something a minute ago. I can't. That if you want to know how to piss me off the most, is we have a conversation, and then when we have another conversation later, you're gonna act like we didn't have that last conversation. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. we cannot do that as a people anymore. We cannot do this. We don't need to talk about how bad things are. They bad. They've been bad. What are we gonna do about it?
That part.
Appreciate you. And like I said, let's go ahead and get out of here, buddy. You got some final words for the people?
Of course, this conversation will continue. This is just the nature of the show. And you know, in this change and pivot, there's going to be some rooms, and there's going to be some other forms of communication. We've been talking about it, but even more so now, you know, it's not lost upon us that some of you are watching on Facebook right now. It's not lost upon us that, you know, TikTok is about to be purchased. We know what Musk has done with X. We know what Facebook and Meta, you know, we know what this is. Again, to Paul's point, we know what this is, and we are going to move accordingly. Again, continue having conversations with your loved ones, continue educating yourselves, stay vigilant, keep your eyes open, believe half of what you see and less of what you hear. Trust your own instincts. Listen to your first mind. Man, and catch the same place, same time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul.
In the morning.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Man, again, we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you as always. Again, big shout out to everybody that went out into the streets to celebrate, bro. Let's not let that get lost in the foolishness as well. Again, we have a world champ to let us know to keep on fighting, And if you fight with integrity, you'll win.
And can I just say one thing about Bud? Very impressed by this young brother. The brother he could live anywhere in the world right now. He chooses to live in Omaha, Nebraska, even getting treated like it gets treated.
Man,
he chooses to bring it back home. He got up on stage. He talked about his mom. He talked about making it. He talked about everything that he needed to talk about. And to me, he humbly took that praise that everybody gave him for this parade and the keys to the city, and he came back, you know, feeling like if you can't be celebrating your own city, then you're doing it wrong in the first place. And I just want to give a shout out to that brother for being that kind of solid cat. He's a cat that did not leave his hood, and he's on the world stage, and he's shining a light on Omaha, Nebraska in a big way. It's been probably 6 months since anybody asked me, are there any black folks in Omaha, Nebraska? So shout out to the champ in more than just the ring, as far as I'm concerned.
The people's champ. The
people's champ. And shout out to the people's champ, Brotha Qasim, as well, who is a brother that I extremely admire too. So thank you, and thank you all. And chat chimers, y'all made me proud today. I appreciate y'all. Man, and let me tell you something about these future plans we got. When we talk about the moves that we need to make because of social media, we are going to be changing soon to where first hour we're going to be talking about some news. Second hour going to be in a place that only chat chimers are going to be able to access, because we need to speak amongst ourselves about some things. So those of you that have been proven over time that you've been chat chimers, those of you over here regulating the chat, we ain't going to have to deal, as things grow on one end, we're not going to have to deal with too much of the troll situation in the future. It is going to be a situation where we will have things for the public. We will also have things for the fam. We have to have both at this point in time as well. Sign up for the newsletter, because that's one way that we can stay in touch via email without having to worry about these social media channels. Definitely do that. And also just keep in touch with us. Keep checking firstskyOmaha.com. The website is going to be aware a lot of the things that we are centering what we're doing is going to be. And don't forget to check out our YouTube page, Lanes of Change, especially, and some of the other live shows from the past that you might want to check out, some of the other interviews. Check it out there, like and subscribe, and do all those things, please, if you would. Just want to also give a thanks to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. I want to give a shout out to our elders allowing us to speak before you. And I want to give a shout out to you, the chat channel, especially today. Y'all regulators mounted up today, for real. Appreciate y'all.
Big time, big time. Also, before we get out of here, I do want to respond to G. Miller Jenkins in the chat saying, don't forget poll for Lanes of Change. You had mentioned a weekly wrap. If you're not signed up for the weekly wrap newsletter, make sure you sign up for that. There is a survey in the weekly wrap on what is your lane. There's also some explainers, some content that we dropped on social media as far as what your lane is as well. If you're kind of confused on what the lanes are, kind of breakdown, go ahead and check it out. Let us know. What's your lane?
That's what's up. Appreciate that. I'm excited about the future, and just very appreciative that we can do this and have these conversations with you to get our heads straight for the rest of the time. Yep.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. This season, space is the place. One thing we can all agree on is that there is a future.
And with that, we're out. You guys take care of yourselves. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black